Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be reviewing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 44-27 win versus the Atlanta Falcons. With this win, the Buccaneers move on to 11-5. The Falcons fall to 4-12, and the Buccaneers have officially clinched the 5th seed in the playoffs. This means that they will play the winner of the NFC East, which at this point it is either going to be the New York Giants or the Washington football team. This is being filmed at 5:20 p.m., so the Washington football team versus the Philadelphia Eagles game has not happened yet, but the Giants did defeat the Cowboys, so the Cowboys were officially eliminated. The Eagles were already eliminated. So it's going to be WFT or the New York Giants playing the Bucs in round number 1 of the playoffs, just to give you guys an update about all that. But without further ado, let's get into this game and start talking about some of the good and some of the bad. And, you know, the first thing I want to say is the bad. Just get that right out of the way because there were some struggles, specifically on the defensive side of the football. I thought the offense still played a very solid game today, and there were still some takeaways that the defense got against the Atlanta Falcons. Antoine Winfield Jr. had a recovered fumble, and I believe there was also another fumble that got recovered later on in the game as well. I know for a fact that the Falcons had 2 offensive turnovers, so good job to the defense for getting those takeaways, but they still struggled in 2 things in my opinion, and that is pass coverage and rushing the quarterback. And it is fair to say that Devin White and Shaq Barrett and Carlton Davis, all 3 of them did not play in this game. So you could have guessed that there might have been some level of problems both in pass coverage and in rushing the passer. But still, this, to me, proved that the Buccaneers are a little bit thin in terms of their depth at outside pass rushing linebacker and at cornerback as well. Sean Murphy-Bunting struggled a little bit in this game, and then Jamel Dean struggled a little bit as well. Even Ross Cockrell, who I'm a big fan of, I know a lot of you guys are also a fan of his as well, struggled a couple of plays. I think he played overall a pretty decent game, but definitely Sean Murphy-Bunting struggled a little bit. Now, he did have a forced fumble and then a recovered fumble as well, but there were still some struggles in terms of pass coverage. And then the pass rush, you know, Anthony Nelson, Cam Gill were out there with Jason Pierre-Paul. I did not see a ton of pressure on Matt Ryan. I'll talk about the stats here in a little bit, but overall, it just proved that how valuable Devin White and Shaq Barrett are for this team. They are huge, huge pieces to this Buccaneers pass rush, and without them, they were very sorely missed. So moving forward, I want to see, you know, a little bit more depth at both those positions going into this upcoming offseason in the, you know, addition of a veteran pass rusher and a veteran cornerback as well. Both guys who could, you know, be very solid rotational depth pieces and just overall build up that depth as a whole. But besides that, guys, this was overall a pretty darn solid game by the Buccaneers. Now, they did make some corrections in the second half and were able to solve some things. You know, the Atlanta Falcons were pretty consistently scoring throughout the entire game, but they never got too far ahead because the Buccaneers offense was just playing phenomenal. Tom Brady, 26 of 41 passing, 399 passing yards, 4 touchdowns to 1 interception, which technically wasn't even his fault. It was a pass where Scotty Miller caught it, fell down to the ground, ball popped up into the air and right into the hands of an Atlanta Falcons defender. I'm not going to, you know, count that against Tom Brady. He was only sacked 1 time in this game, so good job to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line for keeping Brady's jersey relatively clean. Ronald Jones finished this game with 12 carries, 78 yards, and a touchdown. He unfortunately did not get 1,000 rushing yards on the season. He was 22 yards short, which sucks, but still phenomenal year for Ronald Jones. He should be our starting running back for the foreseeable future. In the receiving game, Antonio Brown, this was the big coming out game for Antonio Brown. 11 receptions, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns on 14 targets. Chris Godwin also had 5 catches, 133 yards, and 2 touchdowns on 7 targets. Mike Evans, 3 catches, 46 yards and no touchdowns, but on 4 targets. Mike Evans did get the NFL record for most consecutive 1,000 yards receiving yard. Wait, most consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons to start a career. Mike Evans has broken Randy Moss's record. Congratulations to him for that. He is dealing with a knee injury. I saw a lot of people overreacting and freaking out in the live chat, but I think it's safe to say that Mike Evans should be okay. And Bruce Arians said, knock on wood, it seems like it wasn't too bad in terms of the overall damage and things like that. So I saw a lot of people say it was a hyperextension. Let's just all hope for the best. But also, I want to point out, Tom Brady also had his 40th passing touchdown today as well, so congratulations to him for that. I also mentioned earlier the fumbles recovered by Sean Murphy-Bunting and Antoine Winfield Jr. Both those guys forced the fumbles also as well. Kevin Minter led the team in tackles today with 9. Lavonte David had 8 total tackles. He also had a tackle for loss. Kevin Minter also had a pass deflection, so good job to especially Kevin Minter filling in for Devin White. I thought he did a pretty decent job. I talked about Antoine Winfield Jr. I think he had a pretty decent day. In terms of quarterback hits, there's nobody I really feel like mentioning that much besides Sue. He had 2 of them, and just as a, as a team as a whole today, they only had 6. So that was a little unfortunate to see. Definitely need to see them improve that in terms of the overall pass rush for, guys like the depth and the guys who aren't named Jason Pierre-Paul, Devin White, and Shaq Barrett, because that kind of proved again today that the depth is a little bit overall lacking in terms of the overall pass rushing department. But overall, besides that, it was a pretty solid day from some of the Buccaneers defenders. I mentioned Lavonte David. I mentioned Kevin Minter. Antoine Winfield Jr. had a pretty decent day in terms of tackling, not so much in pass coverage. William Golston continues to make some pretty decent plays. He finished this day with 4 tackles, and I believe he had a quarterback hit as well, so good job to him. And then overall, guys, that was pretty much it. I mean, I do want to say shout out to Ryan Suckup. He made all of his field goals and all of his extra points as well. Had a huge rebound game, so I was very, very happy to see that. And yeah, overall a fine day. Tom Brady has his 40 passing touchdowns. Ronald Jones didn't get to 1,000 yards rushing, but Mike Evans had that record for the most 1,000-yard seasons to start a career with 7. He has not had a year where he has not had 1,000 receiving yards in a season. So everything is good. Let's all hope that Mike Evans can get back healthy. Let's all hope that everybody who was out for this game can get back healthy as well, and things can get back to normal, and the Buccaneers can get ready for their first playoff game in 13 freaking years. It feels good to have the season finally done, because now we can all get ready for playoff football. I'm going to be having obviously a ton of videos coming out as soon as it is, discovered as who is going to be the opponent for the Buccaneers in that first playoff game. It's either going to be the Giants or the Washington football team, and it should be a lot of fun, and yeah, I'm very excited. So that's pretty much it, all I've got for this review, guys. Before we head out, there was actually some milestones that were broken here on the YouTube channel as well. In our live stream, we actually have a new record for the most amount of viewers in a given live stream. The official record is 1,111. I don't think it was the most liked live stream ever in channel history. It might be. It had around 800 or, very high 700 numbers in terms of likes. So it might even be the most liked live stream in channel history as well, which was absolutely awesome. We gained well over 100 subscribers during the live stream today, and, it's very exciting, and I'm very thankful for everybody who is new, coming in, showing support for this YouTube channel, and just all being able to hang out, talk about some Buccaneers football, and enjoy the game together. It's been a lot of fun. I'm very excited to now get into playoff football, because I think it means that we can all just, continue to grow as a community, hang out more together, watch Tom Brady, watch the Buccaneers as a, as a team, as a unit, just play some playoff football finally, and it's going to feel really freaking good. But that is basically all I've got for this video, guys. Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments section below. How did you feel about this game? Who did good? Who did bad? I do want to say the Falcons did put up a pretty good game offensively. Russell Gage especially, I thought, had a pretty solid game. And then, Brian Hill almost had 100 rushing yards on the Bucs. He was just short with 94. And then finally, Matt Ryan, 29 of 44, 265 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not a bad game from the Atlanta Falcons offense, but, it was pretty much turning into a shootout, and the Buccaneers offense was just too much to handle, as they have been in recent weeks. They've been absolutely on fire. This is the second game in a row where they've scored over 40 points, and now they're getting ready to, play their first playoff game in 13 years. You bet those guys are going to be ready to go, and us as fans are going to be ready to go as well. But anyway, guys, Again, I'm going to end this video off here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you for all the support that you've been giving me on the live stream and everything else. It really does mean the world to me. And I'm happy that we can all get this new year started with some Buccaneers playoff football. Lord knows we all need it. But with that being said, guys, let me know who you thought did good in this game, who you thought did bad, and your overall thoughts of the game as a whole. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.